Today, we're going to be looking at staff slings, something that is definitely outside of my wheelhouse, with the famous Tod Cutler.
Hello.
Jeff's High Forte Swordplay. So I'm here in Birmingham, UK. This is going on right now, FightCamp 2025. Lots of fantastic things going on. One of the great things about coming to a location and an event like this is there are a lot of other people you get to network and meet. And so first time I'm meeting Tod Cutler.
Hello.
Thank you so much for spending the time. As I mentioned, like this is outside of my wheelhouse. I'm usually a sword guy, but one of the reasons it's great to talk with people like you is as I learn more and more about swords and about like information in general, like the more you learn about something, the more you kind of realize there's stuff you don't know.
Yeah, and also the way it integrates with other subjects.
Absolutely.
You know, that cross-fertilization between things.
Absolutely. So I like to think of myself not as a HEMA practitioner, but a HEMA plus practitioner, really understanding what are the things outside of my sort of comfort zone sphere that actually have real impact on the way I actually practice what I am comfortable with. So, we're going to talk about staff slings. I think the other reason that I'm interested, not just for myself, but also for people that I work with, we have started to look not only at sort of dueling situations, but situations where we're dealing with people with other different weapons or with groups of people, not just individuals against individuals.
Trying to complicate the fights.
Yeah, adding more complexity, and what do those things kind of bring to the mentality and everything. So yeah, what's your experience with staff slings and that sort of like approach?
Well, staff slings I've not used that much. Okay. So I've got videos on making them, I've got videos on using them. I am not by any means an expert, but I know the rudiments, and we can go through that and I can show you and we can get you slinging. Yeah. So that side of it's fine. In terms of the idea of your project, I think that's a great idea, because one-on-one fighting is fine, but actually, generally speaking, and certainly in a battlefield situation, is not that common. There's always somebody drifting in from the left or the right, or what's happening over there, or you're seeing something there. All of these things impinge on how you're fighting and what your choices are. But then, of course, the battlefield wasn't just like that. Right. You know, there's chaos involved as well. So there's arrows coming in, there's sling stones, there's somebody being vaporized by a cannon shot coming past. Right. All this stuff is going on as well as the sword things. And if you're just concentrating on the sword things, you're actually missing a lot of the rest of the environment. Yeah, I feel like one of the fun things about HEMA events and events in general is like the chaos that sort of comes with it sometimes. So yeah, sort of managed chaos, I think, is definitely a good thing. Yeah, and the idea of your project, as I understand it, is to have your melee going on, and you'll have swords, and you'll have staff weapons, and you have those more normal combinations to the HEMA world. Right. But then you're actually going to spice things up with some stuff flying through the air. And absolutely. And I mean, I think if you just introduce the idea of missile weapons and missile fire, people, there are a lot of sort of go-to ideas in terms of, you know, bows and crossbows and things like that. But this to me is actually one of those things I think is very severely underrepresented in terms of slings. Yeah. For which I don't know that much about slings, but I do know that there were units that did, slinging that were very highly regarded. And so I think that's a little different than what we're doing here today, but still, the idea of slings is, yeah, I mean, you had units for sure, classically Balearic slingers coming in. Yeah. We all know about that. Yeah. But you got lots of other people using slings as well, because slings were just a daily object of life. If you're a shepherd, if you're trying to keep birds off your apple trees, whatever it is. Right. You know, my father, for instance, was taught Italian, but he was taught in Italy around about Second World War time how to use a sling by a guy who allowed him to take apples from the orchard if he kept the birds away. Right. So that's just I was going to say centuries, eons age type arrangement. Right. Right. And so slings were common everywhere. And if you can throw a rock that weighs 150 grams, 200 meters, that's a weapon anywhere. And it doesn't matter how trained you are. Yep. Because if you can get them that far, it doesn't matter if you hit Bob or George, as long as you get somebody over there. That's true. That's true. You know, and so yes, the Balearic slings were extraordinary on distance and accuracy, but it's darn effective weapon without that. Yeah. Yeah.
And you mentioned also this idea that like these things were very accessible and that like culturally it's something that people had access to very easily. I think another thing, and then we can kind of get into the actual slinging stuff here, but the idea of like these things being almost like games and sort of recreational things that people might have access to, you know, when they're growing up. Even with like archery and like shooting contests, that kind of stuff, I think anything where, you know, it's part of the culture growing up and part of like just daily entertainment, and then that part of sort of fun education, I think is, you know, probably telling in terms of, oh, everyone's going to have this likely skill then.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody can afford one. You know, the amount of leather involved, if you even use leather, but you might just be using cord because you can weave them. The amount of material involved is so small.
Seems
relatively.
pretty minimal,
And a lot of people will have the skill to do it because it doesn't actually require that much skill to make the basic one. To make a really lovely one, yes.
Sure.
But a basic one, not that much skill.
Yeah.
But the thing about the staff slings is they are a bit different to regular slings.
Okay.
And that's because, as far as I know, they don't really have a domestic application. I mean, I guess you could use it for throwing big rocks at wolves or something, but you're going to be faster and more accurate with a traditional hand sling. So I think they are fairly exclusively military. But as you can see, they are so simple and so easy, and you're about to find out they're not hard to learn how to use.
We'll test that.
Yeah, well, we'll find out.
Exactly.
That, you know, in times of a siege, or if you have got some guys and you want, I don't know, projectile weapons coming in from the left-hand flank and they only have to do 80 or 100 meters or something, half an hour with a bunch of guys will get you delivering something that is effective.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, shall we give it a try? All right. Okay. All right. So how does this work then?
Well, so the fundamental basics of it is you have a stick. That stick gives you your increased leverage, so it gives you your speed, because you can throw a stone, but there is effectively a maximum speed that you can throw that stone at. This is going to magnify that. So there is a relationship between how heavy the stone is, because the heavier the stone, the slower you can move it. Lighter stone doesn't give you enough resistance in the system, so you can't get your maximum physical efficiency out of you. So there is a sweet spot for the stone weight. That is going to depend on the length of the stick. It's going to depend on you, the length of the cord. So there's a relationship between the length of the stick, the length of the cord, the weight of the stone, and the human who's actually doing it. So it means that my weapon that suits me well is going to be a bit different to yours. But fundamentally, they're simple to use. You can change the trajectory by changing the length of the cords. But the other thing that you can do is you've got a natural position where you just do that. That's fine. If I accelerate that hand faster or pull that one faster, that changes the relationship of when it releases. So the release itself couldn't be easier. So you've got a peg on the end, you've got a cord, and there's a little notch there in the end. And that is because if you bring it over, if that peg was straight, the sling would have fallen off by now. So that notch is just there to hold it on the back position. So we have got, take yourself a baseball, very cheesily, cricket balls for the British. So really what you're looking for, you've got the ball loaded up, and all you're going to do is just swing it, and that's it. There's no trigger, there's no release. It just does its thing.
All right.
And it's as simple as that.
I've heard it described pretty much as a trebuchet, effectively. Would you say that's accurate? Is there something else that is more?
No, I would say we think of trebuchets very much as having a fixed counterweight, but they also did rope-powered ones. So it's a human-powered one. It's not gravity. Well, that's what this is. The only significant difference in the way this works, you can say that my right hand is like the axle pivot, and that is the counterweight or the pulling ropes. The only difference is on a trebuchet, you have a fixed push here, and there's nothing you can do about it unless you load up with more. This one, you don't load up with more. You can instantly alter just by giving it more or giving it less. So, yes, parallels.
Yeah, but there are some mechanical differences. Yeah, gotcha.
But very few. I'd say the parallels between this and a trebuchet are astoundingly similar. Okay.
All right, so let me attempt to be a human trebuchet. Okay, so
That's it. So look for the peg alignment.
Right.
That's it.
That?
So you'll find there's kind of a curve in the stick there.
Oh, I see. Was that intentional?
Well, the stick was curved, so I put the notch in an appropriate place.
In a good place. Got it. All right.
And that's it. Just swing it. Simple as that. Okay.
Okay.
So what we
got
can
to work on the release.
No.
No?
What we can say is that the cords on that one are probably too short.
Okay.
So these are ones that I've used in films before,
Okay.
and probably the last time I was trying to hit a target at 10 meters or something.
I see. Okay.
So, oh,
all right. Let's take it from what were we talking about in terms of? Oh, so all right. So I just tried to do this thing, right, and kind of went off short. And what were you saying about the length of the cord?
so the length of the cord dictate the trajectory in a kind of a coarse manner. So you can adjust that with how you pull your hands about.
Okay.
But fundamentally, that's set up for very close range stuff.
So this is a close range. Yeah.
It's a while since I pulled it out. My guess is the last time I filmed that, I was going for very close targets.
Got it. Okay.
This is much longer.
Okay.
So longer stick, but longer
Give
sling
that a
as well.
shot. All right. Load this up with another baseball.
So you should find that this will go a lot further.
Okay.
Okay.
That feels way better.
It does.
Yeah.
But what you did actually, as you were swinging through, I don't know if you realized.
Yeah.
But what you did was you almost pushed the stick like that.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, if you almost push upwards rather than push forward,
Okay.
push upwards and pull down.
Got it. Yep.
The other thing is we'll wait for a couple more throws, but you can actually literally just hold it behind your head and just do that.
So you are telling me to almost really use it the way I would with a sword in terms of almost like slinging and cutting with it, which should be in my wheelhouse. I think my sort of like physical instinct is yeah, that's sort of like pushing. I'm almost thinking of like shot put kind of mechanics. So, all right, use it more like a sword. I could try to do that.
Yeah. But it's also, there are similarities and differences. I was being taught to thumb shoot archery this morning.
Yeah.
I was like a beginner again. In that if somebody said, "Oh, just concentrate on this," everything else that I was trying to do was out the window.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So just try to treat it the way that I would think of with the sword.
Oh, you lost it.
And that is one of the things that makes me nervous, having it fall off.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that again. So did I drop it too low behind me when I did that?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so there's a limit to how far.
Go down a little bit.
Say,
So we'll find that limit. There, you're good there.
good there. Okay.
Nope. So I think partly it's sort of swinging around a little bit. Partly that notch could probably be a bit deeper. Yeah, stick it about there. Nope.
I hope they're getting this on camera because this is comedy gold.
All right, I'll tell you what.
well,
you should have seen me on the archery this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, it was tragic. Right, let's swap sticks and we'll swap slings.
Okay.
Right, so drop that one.
Okay.
We'll have a go with this.
All right. Load this up. So the lever arm on this is a little shorter. Get this seated in the middle.
So you should, yeah,
there.
should be able to tip that
A little bit further then.
Change that. There you go.
There we go. Okay.
About there. So you can go down from there. So yeah. I'll tell you what you're doing.
So I'm probably doing a little back swing while I'm doing
so
it.
what you're doing, if we face the camera, is you're coming to that position there and you're getting yourself ready.
Yeah.
And then you
then
do that.
I do that, right. Yeah, I can feel it. I can definitely feel it. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So you've got to get your alignment right on the notch. You've got to
this
keep
way.
an eye on that.
All right. Look at that.
All right.
Okay. All right. All right.
Right then.
Obviously, more practice is good.
Yeah. So should we collect, or do you want to go for these two?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I guess, yeah. We could probably just do two more.
Yeah.
That works.
So spin it around so the notch aligns. Oops.
There we go.
And then what we can do is we can shorten the string, and then it will come off earlier, and the
So-
trajectory should be higher.
Right. And so when you say shorten the string, did you actually tie the knots in a way that allows you to do that pretty easily?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah. In this case, I think reality, historically, you wouldn't have bothered because you know what works for you.
You've calibrated it,
Yeah.
right? All right. Yeah. I feel like I'm definitely getting better very, very quickly, like you said.
Well, on this last one,
Mm-hmm.
try pushing more with your right arm and pulling down with your left.
Okay.
And just observe what the difference to the landing position is. Because that's kind of how you fine tune it.
Right.
So think of the lengths of these as like the gross tuning, and the fine tuning is you and your arm. So just try and do something different and see what happens.
Okay. All right. So more push pull, more push pull.
Yeah.
That felt the best, and that was very literally pull here, push here, same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Felt very good. Yeah.
And then I suppose to show you the opposite, we'll go collect.
Okay.
And then you do the other one where you pull that, or sorry, you what
push.
did you do on that one? You pushed.
So I think I went this way and this way at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So just try the other one where you keep this hand a little bit steady
and just do this.
And just do the bottom one. Just see what happens.
Definitely try that for sure. Yeah. Sounds good. All right. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let me try to load this back up. This goes here.
Yeah.
Find the notch. More over this way. Okay. So this time.
Yeah. No, about that.
Right. Okay. All right. This way. This time, this is going to be still, and I'm only going to be levering here. Okay. All right. That feels really weird. I want to push with this hand.
We'll push a little bit, but not as much as you were before.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the distance, it's not just that it was closer; it was more downward.
More downward. Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
So you can fine tune the distance of things. With that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to swap this. I'll have a quick go.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. You want to swap the other?
Yeah, I'll put the other sling on.
Okay. Let's try.
Oh, red,
Whichever
obviously.
you prefer. All right.
Okay. Okay. So that's quite a flat trajectory. Let's just go longer. Okay.
Okay. One more here.
Okay.
Nice. And what was the difference on that one?
I'd say about another 10, 15 meters further.
Okay. Any mechanical difference in terms of what you did?
No, I don't think so substantially. What I would say is I think that this would benefit from a heavier weight. These are coming in at baseballs of what, 125 grams or something, and cricket balls like 145, something like that.
Gotcha.
So they're fairly light. When I've done it before, I'm running about 250 grams when I'm actually using rocks.
Do you know of any statistics in terms of sling stones and things along those lines?
I don't actually. I think if it's a sling like that, then certainly there are piles of rocks that have been found on battlements and sort of obviously deposited for that purpose. And it pays you to have fairly smooth pebbles for that.
Right.
Things like this, yes, big riverbed rocks would be fine, but kind of any stone rock of the right kind of weight is going to be okay.
Right.
So I don't know if there are any deposits of obviously sling stones for staff slings.
Yeah.
There probably are. Somebody out there will know it, but I suspect harder to find would be my guess.
Yeah, I wonder. This also feels like it's something that's a bit of a tradition that's probably passed on. So maybe there's some, recommended knowledge out there that people would also be able to provide.
Yeah, I think so. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to try and extend the length of this sling slightly. Because a bit like I said at the beginning, everything needs to be matched to get the best out of it.
Okay.
So I'll extend the length of this and we'll just try it again. And see
absolutely.
what it does.
While you do that, do you want me to, I'll drop this and throw some of those back. So, all right, we've got 2 white ones. All right, 1 white one and as many red as I can find. All right, I think we're still down a red.
Yeah. Okay. So I've extended that probably by about 2.5 inches, so not massive amount.
Okay, very good.
We'll have another look. Now, hopefully this will make a visible difference to the trajectory.
Yeah.
May not.
So if we think sort of scientifically, what is our expected behavior?
If I was good and I had these all tuned up,
Yep.
rather than just straight off the back of a film,
Mm-hmm.
I should be getting 120, 140 meters, something like that.
Okay, so
And
increase.
we're getting 50-ish maybe.
Okay.
So we're a long way short of where we should be.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come back now.
Yeah.
And then
Bye-bye.
so we're now 2 cricket balls down. So that shows the difference, because that's now gone through the back of the hedge, which I'm guessing is about 70 meters. And it was at about 1.5 meters, 2 meters up. So it's now become quite a different thing. So that was going back rather than from the side, it was back over my head.
Yeah.
So why don't you have a go with one of those?
Oh, we'll give it a try. Yeah.
And see where you get to.
Aiming for the hedge now.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, can we use the white one?
Of course.
Might be easier to find.
Of course.
All right. So straight back over the crown of your head. There we go.
All right.
So just short of the hedge. Brilliant.
I
So
think we calibrated very well.
yeah.
Just like you planned it.
Nearly.
Just like you planned it.
So from terms of your melee operation, because
Yeah.
we can get a higher trajectory than that as well, you just got a slightly longer chords again and you'll get higher.
Yeah.
So you should be able to drop projectiles onto your enemy from, let's say, even with fairly inexperienced people, let's say 80 or 100 meters.
Right.
So that's going to give your melee competitions
a
complete change. The question is, what do you shoot?
Yes, that is that is a really good question. I don't think we have. We're very open to suggestions. I think one of the things that would be nice would be to actually shoot something which is also potentially disposable, so that if there's something that we aren't able to retrieve, that it's not
You're not leaving plastic around.
Yeah, exactly. But that is definitely nice to have if possible. But yeah, do you have suggestions on things that might make sense for this approach?
No, I mean, if you go for something foam, then you're already in that world of plastics and things like that.
Right.
Balls are lovely. Obviously, again, not disposable. But what would concern me about something like this is if these are landing amongst your fighters.
Yeah.
And I'm stepping.
Absolutely.
You can see the problem.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something that's weighty, but fairly collapsible and fairly disposable.
So one thing that we've explored is the idea of sort of like almost like a wedding favor, where you can do like a pouch of cloth of some sort and put birdseed or corn or something. Obviously, we'd have to kind of look at density and just kind of see like what works there.
I used to do these sort of trebuchet building days at schools, and
I love it.
small trebuchets. It was great. It was great fun. So we'd go in and we'd build trebuchets, and they'd have a shooting competition at the end. They'd trying to hit each other's machines. We used to shoot bean bags, so I think actually bags of corn could be great.
Yeah. So yeah, the bean bag concept in general felt like probably a good go-to. And again, we can kind of play around more of like what's on the inside to maybe make adjustments on density and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I think there's going to be a little bit of work required probably to construct them. But aside from that,
I think that's a great idea, because at least they're not going to roll under your foot.
Exactly. Right. There's some compressibility. Yeah.
Especially if you take a bag, let's say a cotton bag, which you can probably buy pretty cheaply, fill it, but you don't stuff it full. You leave it a little bit baggy.
Yes. Yeah.
And so when it's a bit baggy, it will land and it will collapse. If you compress it, you're going to end up with the ball under your foot. Same problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
But actually, a loose bag like a bean bag, I think that is a great idea. And the worst thing you're leaving is cotton.
So I think there's a lot of merit to the beanbag idea. I think the only other thing that we need to do is just make sure that we have enough prep time then to actually sort of assemble the materials and really test things out a little bit in advance. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually trying this out. We have an event at the end of September, actually very much like FightCamp in terms of the spirit and getting to experiment with various things. So we'll have a mass melee event there that actually some folks, even spectators, will be able to come and try some of these things. So I feel like this is a great thing to actually get people to get exposed to. So I'm very much looking forward to it. So, yeah.
Well, it sounds like a great thing. So.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. Appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
Okay.
Absolute pleasure.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.